I invited you in here today just for a conference for my observation of your class next week.
Okay.
So I got a few questions for you just to let you know what I'm going to be looking for and what we're going to be working towards, and give you an opportunity to give me some feedback or any questions you might have.
Okay.
Okay? Let's get started.
All right.
First question is, what do you do to create a learning environment for your students?
Well, what I try to do is I create an environment of respect and rapport, and I
Okay.
set expectations. Like I get to know the child, so that helps with whenever I'm trying to do some correction with them when it comes to behavior, because each child's different. You have to approach them in a different way. You can't be stern with one child and then like soft and gentle and just talk to another.
That's true.
I mean, you just gotta do it like that, and that's my main goal, is to make sure that there's mutual respect and rapport, and setting the expectations for the classroom.
Okay. That goes great with 2B framework here. Okay, question number 2 I have is, how often and what type of formative assessments do you use?
I probably do, I'd say probably every 10 days. And with me being a special ed teacher, I kind of teach towards their goals. So what we do is about every 10 days, we kind of review what we've gone over those 10 days to see if they're gaining any progress towards their goal.
Okay. All right.
And it's usually teacher-made material that I usually do. Like if let's say a student's learning their ABCs. Okay, it's a kindergartner, because I do K through 6. So if it's a kindergarten, they're trying to learn their ABCs, okay, we'll go over, like for 10 days, we've gone over certain letters and what certain, like A for apple, B for bat, so forth. And then I'll give them something that we had already done a few days before and just let them work on it themselves.
Okay. And what form of communication, what form of communication works best with your students in general?
It's kind of like when I was talking about the first question you asked me. It depends on the student. I mean, I can't be stern with all of them, because, I mean, one student, that's their expectation because that's what they know. You have to be straightforward and stern with them, concrete. And then others, they may have maybe issues at home or past environment or something, and you're kind of like that towards them. They're just going to become reclusive, not have nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the student.
Okay. Okay. And how do you engage your students? And usually how long do you do that? What I'm trying to say is, how long do you engage them before giving them maybe a break or changing things up or something like that?
Well, with my classroom, with it being a resource, engagement goes on all the time, because myself and my aide will, she may be working with literacy with some 3rd graders, but I'm over here working with 6th graders on, multiplication. And I may have a couple other students that are 2nd graders that are working on, like, they're in here for math, so they're probably doing, I don't know, maybe reflex math or Moby Max or something like that. So there's constant engagement with my classroom.
Okay.
I mean, it's always, we have to be involved with each one of them to make sure that they're, learning and putting forth the effort, and they're staying assertive themselves.
Okay. And do you have any certain type of grouping with your students?
Well, with the resource, it's, like for instance, let's say it's a Monday, and like for right now, at 8:30 in the morning, we get 1st graders. Okay, they come in for math. So it'll be them that we're usually doing some small group with them. And then at 9 o'clock I have, give me just a second, I have three fourth graders that come in. No, four fourth graders, 2 are literacy, 2 are math. So, okay, whenever they come in, and we're still working with the first graders, they'll get on their iPads and they'll go to a program like y'all utilize iStation. Well, for SPED department, we use something that's called iReady because it's a little bit more lower level and more to their level of learning at the moment. And they'll come in and they'll get on their literacy part, and then the other 2 get on their math part. It's a small group and one-on-one and then independent.
Okay.
That's how it's set up in here.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm gonna be looking for when I come see you next week.
Okay.
You got any questions for me or anything that I can do to?
Is there any certain area or subject that you might want to focus on when you come in, or does it really matter?
It's just gonna be like a drop-in, just casual,
Okay.
formal. I'm just gonna pop in, pop out. Be looking for a few of these things, see what's going on.
Okay, sounds great.
All right. I'm gonna leave you with this Danielson's Framework for Teaching.
Oh yes, I have one of these,
Yeah.
3 of these, 4 of these, and a couple other books of these.
Well, that'll give you some idea of what we're.
Yes, it's great to go back and look at, especially with when you're trying to figure something out in your classroom for a certain child. It's always good to go back and look at your domains because it helps you break it down.
Oh, yeah.
So I will utilize this. I'll keep this close by.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Somerville. Anytime I can help you.
Thank you.